Tottenham aren't as good as you think, and perhaps they never were. Let me explain. So yes, they hit Crystal Palace for 4 at the weekend, and fine, they made a Champions League final a few months ago, but something's not quite right at Spurs, and we're not here to paper over any cracks. Let me explain with a few statistics. This episode of 3 Minute Myths has been made possible by MustardBet. If you're bored of the current crop of online bookmakers, then do check them out for great odds on all the top football competitions and an exciting new in-play experience. What's more, you can get an extra £10 to bet with when you join and deposit £10. Just follow the Football Whispers promo link on screen now and in the description alongside this video. Okay, so to start with, Tottenham were seriously lucky last season. In fact, across Europe's top 5 leagues, that's 98 teams, don't forget, only Strasbourg, who finished 9th in Ligue 1, were luckier than Spurs. And when we talk about luck, we're really looking at the quality of the chances Spurs made for themselves and conceded to others. And they significantly overperformed what you'd expect from them in both metrics. Why this overperformance? Well, they scored an unusually high number of headers and shots from outside the box, which are traditionally unsustainable means of scoring, which means they can't rely on those for too long. And at the back, Hugo Lloris saved Tottenham's bacon throughout the season. No keeper performed better than him in Europe's top 5 leagues last term, according to our post-shot XG model. Put simply, Tottenham's foundations are just not very secure at the moment, and if Hugo Lloris has a bad day, or they don't score a header or a long shot, which they seem to have been relying on, then you should expect to see more 1-0 defeats like the one against Newcastle or the 2 against West Ham and Bournemouth towards the end of last season, all of which fell within Tottenham's last 8 Premier League games. Don't be fooled by Tottenham 4, Crystal Palace 0. So where's it all going wrong for Spurs? Well, for a start, they're not pressing teams anywhere near as intensely as they once were. In the 2017-18 season, their opponents were allowed to complete around 70% of their passes, which made Spurs the second best at preventing opposition passing. But that figure rose by about 5% last time out, and again by the same amount this time. They've really dropped the ball. But perhaps a bigger concern ought to be Harry Kane. Yeah, something's not quite right with Harry. His shot accuracy has been 28% this season, down from around the low 40s, which it was in each of the last 2 campaigns. And this should be alarming enough, but it gets worse because it's not like he's peppering the goal from all angles and driving his accuracy rating down just by having loads of shots. He's actually having fewer shots on average per game than ever before, almost 3 fewer, in fact, than in the 2017-18 season. And on top of that, he's averaging fewer touches per game than at any time in the last 3 seasons. For some reason, Kane is off the boil, and it's really costing Spurs and Mauricio Pochettino, particularly as the manager sees him as so central to his team. And who can blame him, because Kane's risen to the stature of being almost undroppable for Spurs over the last 2 seasons. But the question has to be asked, does he still suit Tottenham's style of play? It's worth thinking about how long will Poch stay loyal to Harry if Tottenham's underlying performances, which aren't that great, let's not forget, don't improve. We shall have to wait and see, obviously. But in the meantime, let us know what you thought of this episode in the comments section. And don't forget to check out MustardBet for loads of great odds and that Football Whispers promo link. If you've enjoyed this video, please do consider giving it a like. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching.